Hi everyone, this is Laura and welcome to my channel. Today I have a little project share for you guys. This is a 12 by 12 layout that I just finished, and I'm gonna go over the products that I used in 1 second. This is my entry for a challenge giveaway that's being hosted by Rosemary Bustillos over at the Inspire Laugh Create Facebook group page. And I entered the challenge because I thought it was going to be super fun for me to color in some fall images and get some little projects out the way that I've been meaning to do. So I decided to create a layout. I have been wanting to play with my little bestie stamp for quite some time. And for Rosemary's challenge, she has several little rules. We are to, it's a Color Me Crazy challenge. So we are to color 2 fall images and use them in a project. We can color them with whatever mediums we wanted to use. It was totally up to us, and we can create whatever we wanted. And I had so much fun doing this, Rosemary. Thank you so much for hosting this. Um, like I said, I love my bestie stamps. I love the big eyes and the little cute little cheekies. The cheeks are so cute. And this stamp reminds me of my daughter Leanne so very much. The curly hair, the ponytail, the headband. My daughter, up until last year, for 3 years, she wore her hair like this. So I was really happy to get this stamp. And since she does look like she has a little sweater on, um, it looked like the perfect fall image to use. So this is my first entry. This is the first image. I do have another one that I will be also sharing probably tomorrow that I'm still working on. I also used my Diamond Die dies. Yay! Right? What a surprise. For this project, I used my Diamond Dies Fancy Flower die set. I also used my Autumn Leaf set, and I used this little guy right here, which I have him in my little cloud so I don't lose him because I lost him once already. This is the mini must-haves, and this is the mini realistic rose. I use this teeny tiny one right here to create some flowers for my project. So let me also share with you what papers I used. I used my most favorite papers of all, Graphic 45, and this collection is called An Eerie Tale. And I really, really love these papers. And that one, this one right here, that's my favorite. I'm saving those for a project of mine. I think I'm going to make myself a box. I haven't made myself a box, an altered box, in forever. And I do need some boxes for storage because some of the things that my friends have blessed me with are getting to be outgrowing the little space that I have for them. So guys, I started out by using this. I don't know if you guys can see this. It's actually beige, but it looks kind of peachy on my camera. This cardstock, I did distress everything with vintage photo, and I used a little bit of black soot in certain areas, but most of it is done with vintage photo. I layered that with some more pattern paper. Then I took another piece of beige cardstock. Now this one is a lot lighter than this one, but they're both beige. And then I added some more pattern paper. Over here, I took a strip of the leftover pattern paper from a previous project, and I just put that strip of paper to go up and down the page this way. So it's going this way. Here in this corner, whoopsies, I am so sorry. It's so hard for me to grab this and maneuver around my camera. These here are the Diamond Die's falling leaves, and here are the little flowers that I made with the little pearl centers that I had in my stash, and I distressed them again with vintage photo. Here, this photo mat here is a Spellbinders die, and if you guys want to know the name of that particular die by Spellbinders, just leave it in the comments below and I'll get you that information. Here I have another little leaf. I took a piece of the pattern paper from the collection, put that in the center to act as my photo mat where a photo can be placed. Here I have another little cluster of flowers that I made with my diamond dies. And I added this little silver leaf charm. I don't know if you guys can see that charm. There's a lot of glare here, but I added the little silver leaf charm there, as I always try to incorporate a charm or two or some metals in all my projects. Here I have the laces that I had purchased on eBay, and they're on orange and brown, and I just layered them on top of each other. To that I layered another piece of pattern paper from the collection and some bling. Underneath that I have all these leaves which I distressed and scattered about with some flowers. I also have little random tiny little bits of bling in red. I am so sorry. Excuse me, guys. The more I talk, the more drier my throat gets. And with this heat, oh, the winter time is not kind to my nose and throat. Pardon me. So over here, I have some more of those diamond die fall leaves. And I just love all these little autumn colors of the leaves and another little flower. Here, my image, which was the important part for my challenge, I decided to use watercolor paper. And I used my Tim Holtz Distress inks as my ink for coloring my image. And guys, I'm going to tell you, I don't watercolor. I think this is the second time I've actually watercolored. I love it. I love it. I don't know why I don't do it more often. For those of you who are, you know, kind of new and not, you probably haven't done watercoloring yet. I think the most important part is to get yourself a really nice watercolor brush, which thanks to the advice of my friends here on YouTube, I did. I love this one. This is from Tim Holtz. It's made by him or by Ranger, one of the two. I really honestly cannot remember right now, but I know it's by Tim Holtz. And this is the one that I use. And as you can see, I still have some water in the barrel. I love this pen because you can really get into the tiny little places. Rather the brush, I said pen, this watercolor brush. And when you squeeze the little chamber on top, it doesn't flood. And I had another one that was just completely horrible. That one's a lot better. The quality is a lot better and I love it. Now, the only issue I have with watercoloring, and I don't know if you guys, maybe you can help me out with that. I don't know if it's the watercolor paper that I'm using or what. And I did stamp it with archival ink by Rangers, the image, because watching tutorials here on YouTube, I understand that that's the better ink to use if you're going to use watercoloring. If watercoloring is what you're going to do, then the archival ink, I was told, was, you know, it's what works best with that. My problem was that every time I stamped my image didn't stamp on the paper all. I mean, I had to stamp this poor little image to get a nice image without it breaking apart or having missing little limbs or anything. I had to stamp this image out like 6 times, which wasted an awful lot of paper. Excuse me, I'm sorry. I'm not sure what I did wrong. If it was even me. I know it's not the stamp. At least I don't think it's the stamp. You know, now that I say that, I never noticed this before, but nowhere on this stamp does it say photopolymer I'm wondering if these are just clear stamps now or photopolymer stamps. I mean, not that it makes a difference, but I know the photopolymer clear stamps definitely do stamp out a lot better. Um, the quality is a lot better, but who knows? It may have nothing to do with the stamp. I've never had issues stamping out any images until I used the watercolor paper. So I'm thinking it's the watercolor paper. Now, this watercolor paper does have a little bit of texture on it, but so did all the other ones that I was looking at the day I was purchasing them. So I'm really not sure what it was. But I did have to stamp, and you know, it just, it was such a waste of paper. And I don't know if this also happens to you guys, but maybe you guys can help me out with some pointers on that. Maybe, you know, it's normal. You know, let me know, is that normal, not normal? Have you experienced that as well? Laura, I don't know what the heck you're talking about. Mine always comes out perfect. You know, let me know. You're the dummy. Whatever. But anyhow, I did use the watercolor paper and my Tim Holtz Distress inks, and I had the time of my life coloring this. It was so much fun. So thank you, Rosemary, for bringing me outside my box a little bit and inspiring me to use another method other than my pro markers. Now, I don't color with Copic markers because I don't have any. Usually the markers that I use for coloring my images are the pro markers, which is by Lauraluvslace, which is a company out in the UK. They are alcohol markers, sort of the same as Copics and what's the other brand they have out there? Oh, I'm forgetting the name of the other one right now. Spectrum Nord, that's the one. All kind of the same stuff. So yeah, I colored my little image with my watercolor paper and watercolor inks. And I really, really like the watercoloring. And then for her little bow, I don't know if you guys can see that metallic shine and the little trim on her pants. I used the pens that my sweet friend Becky sent me in my Halloween rack, which was the Sakura gel pens. And then on the top of the layout here, and I'm going to have to put this sideways for a minute, I have that cluster of flowers that I made. This is one of the die cut tags from the paper collection, and it had this Halloween tag on top. So what I did was I fussy cut this pumpkin and flowers, and I covered up the "it's scary" whatever it was that it said, and I just put this on top. And I covered it up because I wanted it to be more of a fallish layout as opposed to a Halloween layout. And then I put some more of my DIemond DIe leaves here. Again, all of these I made with my DIemond DIes fancy flowers, mini must-have realistic rose. I have another little metal charm here. My DIemond DIes leaf dies are all scattered about. And then here, these two are just the next layers of this photo mat right here. And that's also from my spellbinders. And I don't know if you can see that. The image in, well, rather the quote in the thing, which is the title of my page, that's an Amy R stamp. And that's part of the Happy Harvest. And these stamps I purchased from the Not Too Shabby shop, which is Jamie's shop on Sibit. And I did that in the beige and in the pattern paper that also was part of the collection. And I really, really like the way that layered up right there. Very nice. And I also, and I forgot to mention that, I also cut her out and framed her in that Spellbinders, the same Spellbinder die that I have for my photo mat here. And then here, this was the smallest part to this set. And this sentiment reads, "Just sitting here thinking of you." And that is also from the Amy R. Harvest stamp, Happy Harvest stamp set. So guys, that's my layout. This is my entry for the Color Me Crazy Challenge giveaway over at Inspire Left Create on Facebook. Thank you so much, Rosemary, for allowing me the opportunity not only to join your group and this challenge, but for inspiring me to go play with watercoloring again and not give up. I really, really like the way she came out. I think it helps that I had such a big image to play with, but I will definitely do some more watercoloring. And guys, also, you know, I know a lot of us do not celebrate Halloween, and this collection of papers does have a lot of Halloween image. But the reason I use this paper was also, not that you guys don't know this already, I'm sure you do, but don't give up on paper pets just because you don't celebrate that holiday, because look, I created this whole layout. I use 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different pattern papers to create this layout, and none of them have anything to do with Halloween, all fall. And that's one of the things I love about Graphic 45. You can use it for the Halloween, sure, but you can also use it for other things other than Halloween in case you don't celebrate Halloween. So guys, I hope you like my layout. Thank you for listening to me and putting up with me for the last 16 minutes. I hope you all have a very blessed weekend, and I will talk to you all soon. Thanks for stopping by.